This is FBI crap. This is what happens when you hire the dumbest people in the world and put them in an agency that has no moral compass. The FBI is the worst agency in the United States. It has violated the constitutional rights of every American citizen. They've been told to do this to generate fear, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm being told right now that the FBI is currently, ABC News is reporting that the FBI has warned police departments in California that Iran wants to retaliate for American attacks by launching offensive drones against the West Coast, according to an alert reviewed by the ABC News. That sounds like false flag stuff to me. To get people, that's a false flag warning. Isn't that what that actually is?
Yeah, but it's not just a false flag warning. I remember what the FBI doesn't realize is that there's some people who've been there, done that, and got the T-shirt. I remember when we accused the Iraqis of the same thing. When we took a drone program that the Iraqis had done that I personally had investigated and inspected, but suddenly, some people found the document and said, "Oh my goodness, the Iranians have a drone program." And next thing you know, the Iranians are going to put these drones on ships. And then the ships are going to be off the American coast, and they've got biological weapons, and they're going to be coming in and spraying America with biological weapons. And alerts went out, and everybody was worried about. And they did all this so that we would go to war against Iran. This is the same thing.
You mean Iraq?
Against Iraq. Yeah. This is the same thing. It's 100% crap, garbage. The Iranians aren't doing this. They're not stupid enough to do this. They're winning the war right now. Why would Iran, in the midst of winning this war, seek to lose this war? Because if they launch a drone attack against California, now the American people who, again, remember the equation is economic pain. All right? If I'm feeling economic pain and I treat that pain in isolation, that has a greater impact. But now you piss me off and I have economic pain. I say, you know what? I'm going to take this economic pain because I want revenge now. Iran's not going to allow America to go into the revenge business. That's just stupid. This is FBI crap. This is what happens when you hire the dumbest people in the world and put them in an agency that has no moral compass. The FBI is the worst agency in the United States. It has violated the constitutional rights of every American citizen. The National Security Division exists only to destroy political enemies. And that's who's running this. This is the National Security Division of the FBI playing a power game right now. They've been told to do this, to generate fear and all that. There will not, again, tomorrow I might have to eat my hat, when the Iranian drones fly over LA, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. I predicted, I can't believe there hasn't been a false flag already. There apparently there was one in Austin. Kurt Metzger was telling us about some guy claiming to be Iranian, but he was actually from Pakistan and he was shooting people. And that story came and went pretty quickly. And so that looked pretty much like a false flag. I'm surprised there hasn't been more already. Why? What are they waiting for? Because that's their stock and trade, right?
Yeah, it's what the FBI does. Remember, Donald Trump, in justifying this attack, said that the Iranians tried to kill me. Yeah. Remember that? He said well, no, Nani, it wasn't the Iranians. It was the FBI in a sting operation putting words in people's mouths. The FBI is the worst agency in America. They are corrupt as the day is long. They lie, they lie, they lie. When you have a polygrapher after 9/11 making an Egyptian student swear that the radio in the tower was his by threatening to rape his mother in front of him, only to have the guy who owns the radio show up after the confession was made and say, "That's my radio," and the FBI didn't even blink. This is the FBI. This is who we have. And nobody was paid. They didn't make anybody pay for that. The FBI is fully capable of running a false flag operation. There's no doubt that you could get a Shahed type of drone flying over California and crashing somewhere and going, there it is, But no, the Iranians are not going to attack the United States. The Iranians are not going to try and kill the president of the United States. The Iranians aren't going to do anything like that. They got us where they want us right now. They're taking apart billion-dollar infrastructure in the Middle East. Why would they throw that all away by doing something that would just enrage the United States and solidify a desire for America to see this war to the finish?
So don't fall for it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall for it. If they tell you Iran is attacking the continental United States, it is most likely a false flag. and it's your own government or Israel doing it to us. I wouldn't put it past either of them. Because they've done it before. Israel's got a long history of doing false flags and against the United States. They just look up the USS Liberty, and a lot of people point to 9/11 and that saying Israel had a big hand in that, which all the evidence seems to point to them. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Scott Ritter, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Do you want me? Where can people find you?
ScottRitter.com will take you to my Substack page. You'll see all the links to shows I do and things I write. And if you want to support. But it's free of charge, no paywall. And that's where you go, ScottRitter.com.
Okay. Scott, thanks again. I really appreciate your time, buddy. Good to talk to you. Thanks for making me feel better.
Thanks, Jimmy. I'm glad to be of help.
You
Dr.
did.
Ritter, they can call me now.
Okay, doctor. We'll see you next time.
And the good news here, Jimmy, is that ISIS is about to learn a very hard lesson. Because ISIS is, of course, an ally of the United States. We helped create ISIS. Al-Qaeda is an ally of the United States. We helped create Al-Qaeda. And we're about ready to betray them. You see, the head chopper thinks that Donald Trump's his friend and that America is going to be there to protect them and all that. We're going to abandon them. And when we leave the Middle East, guess what happens to the head chopper? He's going to lose his head.
Scott, that now the head Al-Qaeda guy is going to join with Israel to fight against Hezbollah in Lebanon. And at the same time, they're trying to scare us that there's terrorist cells from ISIS and Al-Qaeda inside the United States. When we're working with the head of the organization is welcome to the White House. What does that tell you, Scott?
It tells me that our Middle East policy is totally dysfunctional and based upon lies and irrationality. But again, the good news here, Jimmy, is that ISIS is about to learn a very hard lesson because ISIS is, of course, an ally of the United States. We helped create ISIS. Al-Qaeda is an ally of the United States. We helped create Al-Qaeda. And we're about ready to betray them. You see, the head chopper thinks that Donald Trump's his friend and that America is going to be there to protect them and all that. We're going to abandon them. And when we leave the Middle East, guess what happens to the head chopper? He's going to lose his head.
That's right.
And they made this announcement, but then the Iraqis, their militias, put Syria on notice. If you move against Hezbollah, because what the Israelis are doing right now is the Israelis have a frontage with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon near the Litani. They want to advance to the Litani River. Hezbollah is kicking their ass, straight up ass whooping. The Israelis are just getting butchered.
Really?
They're moving into villages. They lost 6 Merkava tanks yesterday, 93 guys dead. I mean, they don't know how to fight. The Israelis suck at fighting. They really do. And so the Israelis now want ISIS to come in through the Bekaa Valley, open up another front in an unprotected flank because there was no reason for Hezbollah to defend the Syrian border. They needed only defend against Israel. So they want ISIS to make the move there, divert Hezbollah resources away. The Iraqis put head chopper on notice. There are some provinces across the river from Iraq. There's a town called Al-Qaim, and across the rivers some other towns, and it leads up to a major oil producer. And the Iraqis said, if you make a move, we're coming in, we're taking those territories, we're seizing them, they belong to us. You'll never see them again. We own them. And the tribes that are there are tribes. Basically, the West drew a line across the map in the desert and said, this is Iraq, this is Syria. But the same tribes, the Dulami tribes and others, they're the same tribes. They travel back and forth, go to weddings and everything. So all the Iraqis are going to come in and say, oh, these guys belong to us now. We're breaking your country up. If you go into, and so I don't think you're going to see ISIS going into Lebanon. I think ISIS is going to stand down. Plus, I think the United States just told them, stand down. We're not looking to expand this conflict. We're looking to end this conflict. So let's knock this stuff off. I don't think Jolani is going to make the move on Hezbollah.
And what do you? And so it's comical, right? That the propaganda from the war machine saying that, there's going to be ISIS terror cells in the United States. That seems comical, right? Because when the head guy is meeting with the president, and he's obviously our puppet now, and we're working together, they want to fight on the side of Israel. Why? That's just crazy to think that there's these terror cells from ISIS inside America, right?
The thing about ISIS terror cells is ISIS as an organization, you could become an ISIS terror cell tonight, Jimmy. All you have to do is self-identify as ISIS.
Right.
And that's what a lot of crazy people, a lot of criminal people decide they're going to become, political criminals, and they'll commit a crime, or right before they commit a crime, they'll make a video. I am an ISIS guy. They'll say their little Islamic thing, and then everybody goes, ISIS. But that person wasn't ISIS. He wasn't in contact. And so, I don't buy this ISIS terror cell business. What I see is in America, we're a nation that's gravitating towards violence. We're a nation that's gravitating towards collective insanity. And I see citizens stop functioning as citizens and start functioning in a dysfunctional manner that leads to violence. And some of them then choose to, self-identify as ISIS. But there's no ISIS terrorist cells. Who's that crazy chick? Sarah Adams, I think, or some former CIA analyst targeteer who's made a reputation now, basically saying every Muslim in America is an ISIS terror cell and waiting. That kind of insanity like that. And, she's just wrong. I meet on a regular basis. This might get the FBI to visit my home again, but who cares? They're going to visit if they want to. I meet with an imam here in Albany. He's from the mosque that actually produced two people who were arrested in a sting operation by the FBI, where the FBI offered them missile launchers and then put words in their mouth and then arrested them, because that's what the FBI does. There's nobody out there looking for missile launchers. The FBI creates missile launchers, then has a conversation where somebody says, well, that might be cool, and then they arrest them. And so I meet with them. These are peace-loving people who are, they just want to be part of the community. They don't want to cause any trouble. They're just peace-loving people. And yet Sarah Adams and the others call them violent and call them Muslim and call them this and call them that. And I mean, they are Muslim, but they're not violent. They're not a terrorist cell in waiting. It's collective ignorance on the part of the United States. It's crazy.